So we're going to start now. So welcome guys to the second day of our talk. I am John Paul Ocaba, founder of Students Alliance Southeast Asia, ambassador at IO Ambassador Program 2021 Batch 1, and your host for today. First of all, we would like to thank our partner organizations for working with us this event. So first of all, if you are posting on your social media accounts and stories of today's event, don't forget to tag us and use the hashtag SASE, SDG17, and SDG3. So now let's start our talk. So our first speaker for today is Duratol Hasna. She is the founder of Cerita Miraputi Indonesia. So please welcome Duratol.
Thank you so much, John, for the time and the change. Um, Hi, guys. My name is Surya Hasna. As you can see, you guys can call me Hasna. I'm currently 17 years old and a high school student. And I want to share screen first. Yeah. Is it there, John?
Yes, it's there.
Okay. Thank you.
Rutol, I think your mic is mute.
Okay, sorry. In your big screen, there is a big title too, The Broad Role of Mental Illness, Why and How Individuals Matter for Mental Health. I would love to present this regarding National Suicide Prevention Week 2021 in September. First of all, I want you to see these bullet points that I point out here. These are the factors that increase the change of a young person committing suicide. The first one, distress in patient, and then there's depression, having been subjected to emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, non-supportive family, depression, lack of support system, etc. And this is the factors that suicide became the second largest cause of that. The majority of it, I would conclude that the majority of these bullet points is about the mental situation. So the health condition of mental situation is the foundation and fundamental for us to having as a seed for our minds to become more alive in our daily life. So this is a book that K. Redfield Jamison has written, Night Falls Fast. This book is about understanding suicide, and I highlight a sentence here. I wish I could explain it so someone could understand that. I'm afraid it's something I can't put into words. There's just this heavy, overwhelming despair, dreading everything, dreading life, empty inside to the point of numbness. It's like there's something already dead inside. My whole being has been pulling back into that void for months. This one is her writings that she had experience about her struggles of facing suicidal minds firsthand. And what can we see here is that the pressure of the mental situation and its illness has a massive impacts for daily life. Especially, we can feel that our body's life, but our mind's already dead. And I want to put concern here that we need to be aware of it, and because of this is the merge of our body cells. First thing first, I want to elaborate more about the mental health. Mental health itself, it entails successful behavior in everyday tasks, which leads to productive activities such as work, school, caregiving, etc., relationships that are healthy, adaptability to change, and the ability to deal with difficulties. This is like just the foundation of our daily life behavior, like emotions, thinking, communication, learning, resilience, etc. And then it connect with our social life, like relationship, personal and emotional well-being, contributing to community, all depend on mental health. Like as we can see here, the illustrate the illustration illustrate that our mental health is like a seed, and then it will bloom like a flower when we have a good condition of the mental health. Jump into the mental illness. Mental illness is all diagnosable mental disorders, health conditions with significant changes in thought, feeling and or behavior, distress and or problems, functioning in social, job, or family activities are grouped together under this term. Mental disorder are illnesses that cause changes in emotion, thought, and behavior, or a combination of these. Distress and or problems are linked to mental disease. Mental illness is just contrasting to our mental health situation that is good. Mental illness is given the illustration here. There's just like a heavy words in our minds: depression, panic, shame, stress, grief, etc. That is full of like a bad influence to our that impact into our daily life too. Mental situation as a suicide risk factor. Suicide knows no boundaries. People of ages, sexes, races are vulnerable. Suicidal behavior is complicated and no single cause can be identified. Suicide risk can be increased by stressful life events and interpersonal stressors, especially when they occur in combination with suicide risk factors. Most people with risk factor will not attempt for suicide, and predicting who will act on suicidal thoughts is challenging. Although risk factor for suicide should be considered. Someone who is exhibiting warning signs of suicide may be in more danger and requires immediate assistance. Um, well, now, how we faced and contributing to individual matters for each other. We lend our hand, we offering our help to each other could be the reason they want to stay alive is made it. You are a hero. You are basically a superhero if you are just saving everyone's life, right? And then your voice is like a miracle, and then your presence is like praises for them. And I want to share like a bit of tips that I want to inform you guys that can we help, will I help for someone that has suicidal risk that it is known by you. Oh no, okay. So first of all, the first step is you can ask them. Although asking at-risk person if they are suicidal is a difficult topic, research demonstrates that doing so doesn't increase suicides or suicidal thoughts. You can really ask your friends or family, relatives, etc. What, um, how is your day and how you've been doing this current times? It could be simple things, but trust me, it will give a massive impact for them to like uh, like uh, anybody else that recognize them their situation. Secondly, is make sure they safe. Suicide prevention requires limiting a suicidal person access to highly deadly things or locations, while questioning if the at-risk person has a plan, and removing or disabling the fatal methods is not always feasible. It can make a difference. Of course, it make a difference if you are there to ask them how is the day going, and you are there to make them realize that they are safe with you. You are asked to be um, you are asked how the day was, and then the person will say that they are safe with you. The third tips is be there. Pay attention and figure out what the person is thinking and feeling. According to research, talking about and discussing suicide may lessen rather than increase suicidal thoughts. After you ask the person and make them safe, you are there um, to be there with the person. It could be um, to be make sure that they are safe and tell especially when they're tell the story behind for you, and that is the big change that they will face into the further positive actions. Lastly, stay in touch with them. It can make a difference to stay in touch after a crisis or after being discharged from care. According to studies, when someone follows up with an at-risk person, the number of suicide deaths decrease. After you are catching up with them, you have to like maintain relationship with them or just connect with them in a while. I think it would be great if you know that the mental situation of the person is better than before, and you got they improve in some way, of course. And then yeah, just stay in touch with them, and they will be safe for you. They are safe for you. So yeah, that's it. We show our life, we show our love, we save the lives, and there's the positive impacts. So I think that is the end of my presentation. If you guys want to connect with me, you guys can search Hasna on Instagram, or just contact me through email and duratalhasna90@gmail.com. And this is um, my personal organization, Cerita Merah Putih. You can find it too in the Instagram at Cerita Merah Putih. Yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have a question, just jump into the Zoom chat, and I will answer it later. Thank you.
So thank you for that wonderful discussion, Hasna. So if you have questions for Hasna, please don't hesitate to unmute your mic or chat it in the chat section. And for those watching us at YouTube, you can comment it at the live chat. So now you can question Hasna. Anything? Don't hesitate to unmute your microphone. So anyone? If you don't have questions for Hasna, so let's proceed to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Intan Marlina. She is part of Bridge the Learn Indonesia. So please welcome Intan Marlina. So Hasna, you can now stop the sharing.
John, can we take a picture first? We're
Oh, okay,
all
okay.
first. Okay, sure. Thanks.
So Intan, you can now share your screen or your presentation.
Okay.
While waiting for Miss Intan's, oh, Please don't forget to follow our social media accounts and our partner organization social media accounts. So, Miss Intan, you can now proceed.
Can you see the screen already?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So, thank you, Duratu, for volunteering to speak first. I was told yesterday that I'm going to speak second, and I decided to join another meeting. Thank you so much. So, first of all, I'm going to briefly introduce myself. My name is Intan. I am from Denpasar, Bali, Indonesia. Today, I am honored to speak here as a representative from Bridge the Learn, Indonesia. So today I'm going to talk about suicide and relates it to my own experience. So the main message that I want to deliver to you guys today is bridge information, make more people aware suicide can be prevented by anyone. So let's start. I'm going to tell you first about my opinion about suicide. In my opinion, suicide is not about wanting to die, but instead it is a means to escape the life people do not want to live. So it's not about wanting to die, but rather it's about not wanting to live the current life that you are living. It seems like a thin line, but it's different because of these two words that is being underlined. Um, if suicide is a mean, that means that people can find another way to escape their pain. And if suicide is the issue in which people do not want to live, it can be prevented because people can find motivation to make them wanting to live the life they have. And so it's not just about baseless talk that suicide can be prevented, but it really is can be prevented. So the next thing that I want to talk about is about potential stressor. Suicide, some people think that suicide can only happen, or only some people are at risk of getting suicide or experiencing suicide, but in fact, it can happen to anyone. And if you look at all of this potential stressor, it makes sense because all of these things is something that we experience normally. Every one of us have experienced failing grades, changes in relationship, and then experiencing, some sort of trauma. But the difference is that we don't choose suicide, at least suicide as a mean to escape that pain or suffering. But now I'm going to relate it to my experience. Actually, when I was on junior high school, there was this one time that I consider suicide as the way to escape, but I haven't taken any action. It's just like some suicidal thought. And that is because of this stressor, failing grades. So I am a perfectionist, yes, but the most important factor at that time is I'm someone who can't stand injustice. And because I was very young at that time, I didn't think that justice was a complex concept. I think that the world is unfair. Everything is going against me. I'm working so hard and sacrificing so much, but I still don't get what I wanted. So, and my parents wasn't exactly, I wouldn't say they're bad people. Of course, they're very nice people, but it's just everything that I've done is natural. Me getting good grades is natural, but me getting bad grades is also natural because, it's a part of growing up. So they didn't really like pay attention to that. They think it's normal and I'm being too childish at that time. So I feel like I'm alone, struggling alone in this world, and I don't want to live in this unfair world. So that is what I think at that time. And it relates to the next material is warning signs. Yes, I experienced all of this warning sign except for this excessive use of alcohol or drug because I was minor at that time and I'm not exactly those rebellious kid that drink before their age, and even until today I don't enjoy drinking because I don't like the taste. But Except for this, I'm experiencing all of these warning signs, yes, and it's actually noticeable. And my little brother, noticed that. And now I'm going to tell you how my little brother, that is younger than me, saved me. And that is something that I want to tell you guys, that anyone can save people or help people that experiencing suicidal thought or suicidal behavior. You don't have to be some sort of expert to do that. At that time, I was snapped out of my thought because my brother asked me, "Hey, I brought your favorite food. Don't you want to try it?" The way he emphasized that, I know that he knows I'm experiencing trouble, but he didn't want to make it obvious. So he asked me if I want to eat my favorite food. He bought that favorite food deliberately. So at that time, I was snapped out of my thought and think that, oh my goodness, if I die today, then I couldn't eat my favorite food, or I couldn't eat any other food that I wanted to eat before. So I eat my favorite food, but I'm still crying. And then my brother asked me, "Why do you cry?" And then I told him that, my teacher is biased. I'm struggling so hard, but I didn't get what I wanted. I thought because he's not someone studious, I thought he wouldn't understand. But instead, he got angry for me and told me that he's experiencing the same thing. And then he said this word to me: "My sister is amazing. You could get to great senior high school without the help of those good grades from teachers." So it actually made me, first of snapping out of my thought. Second, it makes me feel like I'm not alone. And the third one, it makes me look forward of the future that he talked about. Can I really achieve that if I hang on to that? So it became some sort of motivation to me. And that is what I hope other people who are experiencing something that I experienced at that time could experience. I mean, they get help from other people, because a lot of people don't actually get help, because a lot of people hesitate in helping because they think like they're not qualified to help. So what I want to tell you guys today is that you can help. You don't have to be some sort of psychologist, someone who study in psychology to be able to help. And what you can do to help is, first, you can listen, but don't judge. Why? Because everyone have their own tolerance, everyone have their own experience, and every one of us is unique. So we can't exactly know what they're feeling. We might think that it's simple, but if we are in their position, we might think differently. We might actually experience what they experience. So instead of that, listen carefully and give emotional encouragement. Second, asking question. Aside from my brother, I actually saw a lot of people on the internet being saved by strangers asking them unrelated questions that snap them out of their thought. They ask them, "Hey, where can I get a coffee?" or "Are you all right?" Like something like that. It really helps, because suicidal thought is temporary. So you need someone to slap you or wake you up from that thought. So that is, and the third one is getting help or bridging them to the resources they need. If you feel like you can't empathize with them, but you really want to help, what you can do is you get them to the correct resources or the correct helpline that could help them instead. This is just one of the example of the helpline that exists in Bali. Its name is Lisa. It's not Lisa Blackpink, but yeah, it's pretty catchy. So yeah, that is my experience and the message that I want to tell you guys. And lastly, before I stop speaking, I want to give you guys this word that always motivate me and help me hanging on every time I'm struggling, is "this too shall pass." So this word is actually from my mother. So this word means so much to me because it reminds me a lot that all of the struggle that I'm having right now is actually temporary, and there's an end to this. And it makes me look forward to what will I get, or what will welcome me at the end of this struggle. It has helped my mother, it helped me, and I hope this word could also help you guys. And last but not least, reminding you again of the message that I want to convey is, let's bridge information and make more people aware that suicide can be prevented by anyone. Thank you. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
So thank you for that amazing discussion and sharing, Intan. If you have questions for Intan, don't hesitate to unmute your microphones or chat it in the chat section. So there is a maybe a question from Zidan J.
Okay. It's in Indonesian, but I'm going to translate it to English. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, so Zidan was asking how to empathize with someone who have suicidal thought, but we don't understand. We can't empathize with them, but we wanted to help. So first of all, like what? Thank you so much for the question, by the way, Zidan. I really appreciate it. That means you have the thought of helping that the person that having suicidal thought. So first of all, you have to listen to their story. But I know sometimes it's hard because every one of us have different kind of struggling. Probably you struggle much and you think like the struggle is not that much, but it's this kind of logic. Everyone is born with different body, right? Someone who is born with immense amount of immune or born strong, they wouldn't understand how someone who's weak, right? But if they are born weak, they would have different feelings or perspective, right? So if you feel like you can't empathize with them, it's okay because everyone is different. But what is great is that you have the thought of helping, and what you can do is you can connect them to the correct resources, like what I said before. Probably if you think you have friends that is good at listening to people and you think that he or she is someone who could solve this person's problem, then you can connect them to that person, or you can find a helpline like what I've tell you before. It's called Lisa. Probably I'll tell you. I'll give you the link to their Instagram too. Probably if that can also help. But yeah, if you first of all try to listen, probably you could empathize after you listen to it more. But if you can't, it's okay. Your thought of helping is already great, and connect them to the correct resources instead. The words that you could say is like. You know what? Apa namanya? Oh my God, I speak in Indonesia. Sorry. So you can say to them, I've been struggling before, and whenever I'm struggling, I always tell this person my problem, and then you give them the number. So it makes it wasn't like, you know what, you're having you're someone with mental illness and then give some sort of psychiatrist number. So it could be offending, but if you tell them like when I experience problem, I tell this I tell my problems to this person, and then you give them the number, it would be different. So it could be consoling instead. So yeah, I hope that answer the question. Thank you so much, Sidan.
Maybe anyone has another question for Intan?
Okay, thank you.
So if you don't have question for Intan, let us, before we proceed to the third speaker for the day, let me remind you that we have posted hotlines, mental health hotlines, and suicide hotlines in our social media accounts. And if you want to ask for a copy of it, you can, don't hesitate to email us at studentslc@aseanyouth.net. So that's also our third speaker for today is Lanaya Putyanma. She is the founder of While We Drink Matcha. So please welcome Lanaya. So Lanaya?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Lanaya here from While We Drink Matcha, and today I'm going to be talking about taking care of our mental wellness while also trying to be active outside of school. I haven't introduced myself. And hi, everyone. I'm Lanaya Putyanma. I'm currently a 15 years old Indonesian student who is on her 11th year of high school and is currently on a journey of going out of her comfort zone to gain as much experience as possible. I'm the founder of While We Drink Matcha, and I'm currently the vice president of Madania School Student Council. And also, like other speaker, I was an ambassador of ASEAN Youth Organization 2021 Batch 1. So, as we know, COVID has impacted everyone. But for me, COVID, which resulted in social distancing, has resulted in many unfinished plans of mine, which caused like unreached dreams. And peer pressure has made me think that I should have been more diligent and disciplined, so that my plans could be finished. And choosing universities has also been getting into my mind ever since I get into high school. What if I don't get accepted into this university? What will I be doing in university and so on? So we can conclude that social distancing has affected me to overthink, which has made me very anxious. And it really crushed my mental health last year. And this led me into thinking, how do you take care of your mental wellness while also trying to be active outside of school? And after nearly 2 years of experience and different methods being tried, and from asking lots of people, here are some tips and tricks that I can give you. First one is to create a comfortable working space, which consists of a table for support, a comfy and sturdy chair. Because in order to maintain a good mindset, posture, and the disciplines of working in a rather long period of time, you really need to have a comfortable working space. And second one is to create a priority scale, which includes of the what are the urgent ones, not urgent one, is it important or is it not important? If it's urgent but important, do it now. But if it's not urgent but it's important, decide when can you do it and schedule a time to do it. If it's urgent and non-important, try to find a delegate who can do it for you. But if it's not urgent and not important, eliminate it or delete it. This is important so you would know what are the things that you should do and what are the things to eliminate. The third one is to elaborate it and write it down from the first priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority, and so on. This is also important to do so that in case you have two or three schedules clashing, you would know which one to prioritize and do first. Therefore, you wouldn't have burnouts. The fourth one is to manage your time using Google Calendar. This is really important so that you will be able to keep track of your free time. Therefore, you can have some time to pamper yourself and recharge your energy by doing things you like. If it's me, I would watch movies, listen to music, and etc. And I think what has been helpful for me now is to practice mindfulness, which is to focus on being intensely aware that you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. Well, practicing mindfulness for me involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practices to relax my body and to keep my mind too, which helps me to reduce stress. And I think lastly, but most importantly, is to surround yourself with positive people. This is pretty self-explanatory, but for me, if my surroundings are positive people, then myself would get that energy and becomes positive too. And lastly, for me, is that remember that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't overwork yourself. Cheer up. Thank you. Do you have any question, everyone? If you have, please leave it in the Zoom chat and I would love to answer it. And lastly, for me is don't forget to follow our social media while we drink matcha, and also my personal one, Lana Putianma. Thank you.
If you have questions for Lanaya, don't hesitate to unmute your mic or message it at the chat section. So I think there is no questions for Lanaya. So now let us proceed. So let us call our last speaker for the day. He is Henry Surya. He is a marketing executive at ASEAN Business Youth Association and co-founder of Care. So please welcome Henry Surya. Henry?
Okay, yes. Henry speaking. Yes. Hold on. I'm currently wanted to remove the previous background. Okay, and I'm ready. Okay. Hold on. Okay, can I share?
Oh, Gali, can you make Henry as co-host so that he can share his screen?
Or
Okay, wait.
or you can yes, or you can share it to any, or I can send you privately about the link.
Now Henry is co-host.
Now, Henry, you can now share your screen.
Sure, thank you. Okay. I already sent you privately about the link of my.
So you want me to share it for you? Or maybe you can,
Okay. You can do it.
what, you will share it or I will share it?
I think
Oh, you're sharing it. Thank you.
okay. Hello, good afternoon. Hi, everyone, and good afternoon, everybody, and all of the participants of ASEAN and also the other regions. And selamat malam, selamat sore semuanya, and welcome to the Student Alliance station about the mental health and also suicide prevention during in celebration of the Suicide Prevention Day. And my name is Henry Surya Wicaksana, or you can call me Henry. And I'm currently a fresh graduate of the computer science from the Universitas Gadjah Mada, which is one of the Indonesia's top tier university, as well as I'm also an ambassador of the ASEAN Youth Organization in this year in the first batch, as well as I'm also a co-founder of Aucigen Indonesia and also the marketing executive at ASEAN Business Youth Association. Yes. First of all, I will sharing to you all about my brief background. And currently, I'm a 24-year-old Indonesian youth activist, which is in the next month I will turn 25 in next month. As well as I'm also the founder of the Aucigen Indonesia, which is a social startup that focused on empowering autistic people and also to to actively contributing for a neurodiversity and also the autism awareness and acceptance, as well as I'm also an enthusiast in mental health, environment, and economics. And in the previous experiences, I'm honored to be selected as one of the ambassadors at the ASEAN Youth Organization, alongside with John Paul Okaba and also other delegates and also other ambassadors from Indonesia and ASEAN region, as well as I've been selected and honored to represent Indonesia at the HP Harvard College and Asia Conference in 2021, and also the World Bank Youth Summit. And here now my social medias and in LinkedIn or Instagram. And if you have something you want to ask, please you can please don't hesitate to hit me up. Okay. Yes, we are in the COVID-19. In this situation, we are currently most of you and most of us are facing the hard times, and also we are facing the life test that it makes us really sad, really depressed, as well as it makes us anxious, as well as makes us hopeless and feeling numb. Yes, and you can and the hard times, and everyone can be facing the hard times, especially for every youth in the world. And first of all, you will face it, and I believe that some of us are facing that you are in the unsupportive environment, which is the environment will be judgmental, will not support your dream, and also try to hinder your dreams and aspirations. And some of you are ever to frequently judge with a negative level, especially the negative level from everyone in our life, and as well as the in several years. So, for example, is you are not smart enough, and you are from the certain ethnics, or if you're failed, then you got a label, you're a failed people, and blah blah blah, etc. And some of you are facing the failed at some attempts, even some your attempts, even your attempts in applying scholarship, applying for the university, as well as failing at some of the selections of the work, and also some companies. Or if you are the entrepreneur, you are facing the hard times that you got some of the investors are leaving you, and also your workers are leaving you too, and also your plans got messed up, especially in this pandemic, that you have to plan to go abroad, and go to Iceland and other countries, or participating in the international world renowned conferences, as well as the world renowned competition. But your plans got messed up, and you've got you have to do that. Some of the reason you have to cancel that. And the last one, some of us will be the failed anniversary in your past, even if you are having the past traumas, and also having the past failures, and also the past judgments from everyone. And the hardships are inevitable, especially in midst of the pandemic. That and especially the pandemic makes everyone in the world it become uncertain, and because of the pandemic, every people, everything can be predicted well, and the hard times can be happened unexpectedly. So however, besides of the lots of the hardships, you can cope every hardships, and you can cope with that. And here now I will share you some tips to how to cope that in the hardships. And the first one is you have to know yourself better. And when you're facing the challenges, also facing difficulties in multiple ways, and also in everything you do, and also everything you pursue. That one of the greatest idea, and also the greatest way to overcome it is you have to know yourself better. You have to learn to be mindful to yourself, as well as your potential, your strength, and also the weaknesses. And if you have the sad thing, you have to the negative emotions, you just recognize that recognize what you feel today. You should not be to reject that. You deny that, and you manipulate it. Despite of some of the social medias are saying that some the people want cannot don't deserve to be sad, and also they are and um, you have to manipulate it, and some of the quotes that instead of blah blah blah, instead of blah blah blah, instead of being sad on your complaining, you have to be to complain it. So despite of although that if even if you have to facing the hardships, you can find your silver linings in it, and the self mastery is the key. And because nobody understands your whole self, and nobody can understand 100% about yourself, even though your closest relatives, your families, your moms, your dads, and also your sisters, your brothers, and and they are maybe likely they are likely to be the misunderstanding, and also the mislead about your feelings, about your aspirations, and also about your needs. So for example, your needs to getting a scholarship, your needs to consult to the professionals, that etc. But one of the important thing is self mastery is a key. And you don't have to distract with it distract what you feel now, right now, and you have to feel it and cope it right now, and you have to dare to face it calmly with a positive minds, instead of you're not just doing nothing, but doing just doing nothing for a long time. But despite of you have to be rest, you have rest for a while, but not you cannot do it for a long time. You have to set a time and also set a limitation, and you have to dare face it calmly with a positive mind, and you will get a silver lines in it. And the second one, you can apply a mindfulness. Being mindful makes it easier to support the pleasures in life as they occur. And also, the mindfulness, it means we are mindful, the fully mindful, and also you are present in the present time, and also the present place. And the mindful to apply mindfulness had many had many benefits that apply mindfulness can help you become fully engaged in that activities, and you can also create a greater capacity to deal with adverse events, especially in the hardships. Because of that, you can cope with the same thing, and also same hardships in the future with the positive mind, and also in the positive way, without your distractions. And being here and now makes you less worried about your future and past. And the most important one, you have to focus on what you can control. And there are there are only few of the things that only we can control. For example, is your emotions, your response, as well as your actions and your thoughts, and your spirit, and also your next move, and also your ideas and the plans for the future. But the biggest thing, and also but the reality, many variables that you can't control. For example, you can't control about about the weather, about the future, the currencies on the rupiahs or pesos or ringgit or US dollars and anything, etc. You also cannot control what others do and what others think and what others react with your actions, and also with your moves, and also with your dreams, and also what things do you have to struggle and achieve. And also you cannot control, even you cannot control what your health, despite you can control what to do for keeping your health is really well. But you also you cannot control the other external phase, the other external things outside of our life, outside of ourselves. And so we can, if you are doing something good, but there are somebody are trying to hate you, and also provoking anyone to giving the negative thoughts about you, it's out of your control. You cannot control these situations. And but the great thing is what's better in your life is here and now. In the third one, the asking help is really okay. And like many people in Southeast Asia, and also Indonesia and Malaysia and Philippines and some countries, some people are still afraid, and also some people are very are still worry about the asking help from professionals. Even in Indonesia, that if you are talking to the professionals, you will labeled as the person with the mental illness, and some of the negative stigma about the mental health in Indonesia. And but I think it's okay to ask help to someone, to ask for help, and also you can talk to someone who you trust, and you can talk about your unrest, and also your feelings to everyone you trust. For example, is your friends, your mentors, your families, and etc. That someone do you believe. But if you are not giving not giving a trust to anyone because of the past judgments that can you get, you can ask your help to your related professionals. And there are also lots of choice of the related professional. You can ask for the psychiatrist. You can also ask for to the psychologists, as well as you ask your counselor. And one of the and you cannot self-diagnose any kinds of the mental illness before you are officially told, and also ask the professionals to maintain and monitor about your mental health conditions. And that's all. And even the World Health Organization considered that the suicide cases is one of the highest rates of the death, highest cause of death by the most of the youths in the world. And World Health Organizations can in 2017 recommends everyone to talk to someone who you trust, and also recommends everyone to talk to related professionals, as talking to someone is it means that you are reducing your emotions, also reducing reducing your things, that hinders you, that reducing, and also the reducing your restlessness in to other medium. So So the mental health professionals can help you. And the last one is that if you are having the hopeless, if you are having no one life, there the willingness to not to having a suicide, and you're having something that not really well. There are always a hope. There are always a hope, because you are matter and you are loved by everyone. Even somebody is hating you because of it's not your problem. It's not makes you are dumb that you are, and you can believe at that. Yeah, you can believe it that you are you are worthy, and you are unstoppable. And here are the related and hereby I recommend the related mental health services in Indonesia as well as in the Philippines. And in Indonesia, you can call 1-500-454, which is the official hotline by the Ministry of Health about the mental health. And also you can also accessing the mental health related mental health apps, such as the Relief app in Ibunda, and even you can consult the psychologist at Halodoc. And the Philippines, you can call the 1553, which is the Luzon White landline, and also the 0966 351 4518, and also the 0917 899 8727, and also 0917 899 USAP. And thank you very much. And hopefully you can enjoy the presentation. Then, and every answers and every questions are really welcome. And you can share your thoughts here. And I will give you the floor to the John Paul Okaba, and the floor is yours.
So thank you for that amazing discussion, Henry. If you have questions for Henry, don't hesitate to unmute your mic or chat it in the chat section. So I think there's a question for Henry. So again, thank you for every speaker in sharing your thoughts on about suicide and mental health prevention. And before we say goodbye, let me say thank you to this organization, our partner organization, ASEAN Youth Organization, supporting Smiles Organization, Unite 2030 Myanmar, Sirita Meraputi, Youth Can Do It Organization Philippines, Oti Care Indonesia, ASEAN Business Youth Association, Bridge the Learn Indonesia, and While We Drink Matcha. So before we say goodbye, let me remind you that together, let us make an action in preventing every being and committing suicide. So once again, thank you for joining us in this 2-day talk with 5 speakers. And see you soon, and have a good day, everyone. So thank you. Bye-bye. You can now leave if you want or take screenshots. Bye-bye. Thank you. For speakers, let me remind you again that the certificates will be sent through email within this week or next week. So thank you. You can now leave, everyone. So
Okay.
thank you again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you for the event.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this great opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.